Oh, it's the greatest way for age race in Australia.
She might be the greatest in the world, Sunline. She streaks home in the Cox Plate.
It feels like a grand final, a real grand final.
She's the champ.
You get the best jockeys in the land.
Top of the hour, top of the legend. Weeks has done it.
It's a special track, Moonee Valley.
The crowd's so close.
You walk through the tunnel and
you've got eyes all around you. You almost feel like a bit of a celebrity.
And the valley roars. Racing in the Cox Plate.
Weight for age, 2,000 metres.
It takes a special horse. There's no hiding spots.
Jockeys get going early, and it makes sure it's a lung buster.
Here come the New Zealanders, our Waverley Star and Bone Crusher. They've raced to the lead, 600 out. Have they gone too early?
They need to be able to handle the valley. They need to be able to handle pressure.
And they're all taking off at the 550-metre mark. A wall of horses around the outside.
The best horse wins the Cox Plate.
And the land of the rising sun wins the Cox Plate. This time for the big A. It's a fantastic finish to the Cox Plate.
It's a champion's race.
Whoever wins the race at that very moment is going to be crowned the great weight for age middle distance horse of this country.
And this year there are 5 major contenders in the field of 9. Mr. B, the 3-year-old broadsiding, the darling Jenny, Via Sistina with Jay McInwalla, and from the land of the rising sun, Damien Lane with Prognosis. Here's Richo with some of the leading jockeys. Has done that along with Brent Thompson. Tomo did it with 3 different horses, is what James is trying to do here.
Yeah, he is, Bruce, and it's just such a hard race to win. So for him to win the last 2 years is he's exceptional. He's been on some really top horses, and Via Sistina is a top horse in herself, but she had this accident during the week, so she then went on to gallop around Moonee Valley with the bandage swinging around her leg for 3 laps. So it's not been the ideal scenario leading into such a big race.
And then the beach the next day. And James, obviously, you talk about these sorts of things a bit. I mean, she goes to the beach. Was he worried at any stage that she mightn't be able to come up for the Cox Plate?
No, it was. He doesn't talk much about it, Bruce, to me. But look, I suppose James has so much faith in Chris Waller and what he does with his horses, and he is always guided by what he does. And this is her having a canter around on Thursday morning, so just building that confidence back up. It didn't look like it hurt her at all. So this also would be some performance from Chris Waller to train.
And Pride of Jenny, she's had obstacles. She runs in a gut buster. She goes on Saturday in the King Charles to Bonbon Farm for Kieran Ma on the Sunday.
Yeah, she's well travelled all in 1 week. Then she went to Cranbourne on Wednesday, arrives at the stable, so she travels down there Thursday, Friday, Cranbourne recovery, race day preparation. So just the normal thing. And then not only that, she has a gallop on the treadmill, Bruce. That's unbelievable.
It's Kieran Ma. It's Kieran Ma. Prognosis, of course, has been at wherever he's come from, Japan, and Richo's with Richo. This is a special horse, isn't he?
I'm joined by champion trainer in Chris Waller. Just before you go and hide so we can't find you, some final thoughts on Via Sistina?
Look, the rest of the week after Tuesday's gone well, and so I'm really happy with her. Each day was always a concern. I wanted to see her eating, wanted to see her temperatures normal, wanted to see her happy, and we've seen that each and every day. So obviously she's got to run well to back up what I've just said, but look, I can't fault it.
I can't imagine Jenny will get too far in front this time.
Hard to say. It's going to be an intriguing race. Like it's a Cox Plate. They go that much quicker in a Cox Plate. It'll be an intriguing race. You've got a couple of 2-year-olds there with lightweights. You've got international horses. The Japanese horse in particular, he's a good horse. Mr. Brightside, he's a really good horse. Via Sistina, she's got good Group 1 form, and it's a really good Cox Plate.
Good luck, mate. Go and enjoy watching it.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
You can feel the nerves, as always. The market mover from Sportsbet, Nick.
The Japanese raider, Bruce. Number 2, Prognosis. He got out the 360, back into 330. Good support late for broadsiding as well, now 650.
Katie?
Yeah, I think Prognosis saw what he's been able to do in Hong Kong against Romantic Warrior has been exceptional. As long as his barrier manners are good, because we know that we saw him before, he does tend to get worked up, but he looks like he's nice and calm out there. I think he's going to be really hard to beat.
And Richo, those that can't get a ride are standing and waiting like they do for the great races. Your final thoughts, Richo?
There's simply so much at stake, Bruce, isn't it? For all of the runners, the long planning for Docklands is Blake Shin takes this boy forward for Harry Eustace. I'm with Prognosis. I think if he brings his Group 1 form from Hong Kong, he can win. Docklands could run some sort of race. Pride of Jenny will thrill this crowd. Strap yourself in. The crowd will roar when Matt Hill says she's 5 lengths in front. This will be epic.
It will be. So many stories. Jockeys related, we know that. Jamie Carr, James McDonald. Trainer related, the two giants, Ma and Waller, and all those dynasties as well. But it's about the horse more than anything else. This is the day that a racehorse goes from good to great, and most of them only get one chance. So this is their moment. This is their opportunity to become a legend in the sport. Here's Matt Hill.
And the field is set. Ready, Prognosis lifting. Crowd roars. They stand. Racing in the Cox Plate. Evaporates slow and almost stumbled out of the gates. Via Sistina away fairly. Royal Patronage led the race early. Pride of Jenny and Prognosis right up there, and driving up Evaporate made a line of 4 at the post. So Pride of Jenny steadily working across 4 deep on the first corner. They were followed by Mr. Brightside. Docklands the inside, 2.5 Via Sistina, Kovalika and Broadsiding last. So Royal Patronage led, 1600 to go. Pride of Jenny sits outside of it for now. Prognosis a length and a quarter away, third from Evaporate, who's kept 3 wide. A length and a half Mr. Brightside. Docklands Via Sistina. Kovalika is second last. Broadsiding last. Pride of Jenny went to the front. Bottom corner, 1300 to go, and Pride of Jenny's put up 3 lengths now from Prognosis second. Royal Patronage passed by Evaporate on that corner. They were followed by Mr. Brightside, a length and a half to Docklands, then Via Sistina. Next in the field, Kovalika and Broadsiding at halfway. Pride of Jenny is the leader in the Cox Plate by about 2.5 to Prognosis, keeping the mare in his sights. A length and 3/4 away, Evaporate. Then came Royal Patronage and Mr. Brightside as they run towards the 700 metres. Via Sistina's 7 off the lead at least from Docklands, Broadsiding, Kovalika. So it's Pride of Jenny, 600 metres to go. A length and a half to Prognosis, who's nice and close. They're 2 lengths in front of Via Sistina, who's coming into it. Mr. Brightside's coming with her, and then came Royal Patronage. Pride of Jenny grabbed by Prognosis, but Via Sistina now pushes the button on the outside and goes up and takes the lead. Via Sistina, 300 metres to go, puts up 2 lengths. Prognosis, Docklands, Mr. Brightside, and then came Royal Patronage. But Via Sistina storms away with 150 to go. She's 5 lengths in front. It's going to be a Cox Plate round, and James McDonald has victory of the very best. Via Sistina by 7 lengths. Second Prognosis, third in the race was Broadsiding, Mr. Brightside next, then Docklands, Kovalika, Royal Patronage, Pride of Jenny and Evaporate last.
Put it at the top of the list. We've seen some extraordinary things here in Cox Plates. J-Mac gets a 100th Group 1 win. He wins the Cox Plate for the 3rd consecutive year. It's the stuff of legends. Chris Waller's a genius and this mare's a champion. And I'm standing alongside the wife of the man who's created some incredible history today.
We just won the Cox Plate, baby!
You better get down there, Katie, I reckon, don't you? Off you go. Richo, we have seen some amazing performances on the Cox Plate. The stuff that we say we won't see it again, do you know what? We've seen one as good as we've ever seen before.
Well, Bruce, I don't want to compare her, but that was Winx-like, wasn't it? The way that she demolished Hartnell that year. And Chris Waller, could you imagine how he was feeling on Tuesday when Via Sistina dropped James McDonald and then went out of control, spinning around Moonee Valley? And Chris, the comment of "you're a genius," that was from Bruce, and I think that was a genius training performance. Gosh, I'm so happy for you.
Leave me out of it.
Well, we can't leave you out of it because you had to go to Plan B with this girl after Tuesday morning.
We've done these things before, I guess. So thanks, James. Yes. Look, I think just forget what happened Tuesday. It's just a good horse. Yeah, I've just done my job to prove it.
Yeah. There must have been moments, though, when she was galloping on her own on Tuesday morning that you were thinking all the planning has gone astray.
the truth is, when she got up and James got up, the rest of it didn't care. Yeah. Horse and James equally, which is so important. They put the Cox plates on every year. If she didn't make it, who cares? She's alive and James is alive.
Yeah. And that's what it came down to. So then you had to start to change your planning. You came back Thursday morning. Did you just poke around?
Yeah, we did, just to get her confidence up. Our vet down here, Matt, he actually floated the idea, and I thought, gee, that's a pretty good idea. And we ran with it, and just a great team effort from, the team in Sydney, Lizzie, Charlie, all my team, Steph. Yeah, just so much support.
Keep walking, because we're going to cause a bit of a logjam here right behind us, and that'll allow people to get through, and you'll have a chance to go and see Mr. Zhang and Yulong, who invested an extraordinary amount of money in this girl.
Yeah, they have, and this is the pinnacle race, thank you. And they've put a lot in, and they deserve to be getting what they're getting back, and it's great for the whole industry and the world as well. I think everybody's watching Australian racing, and we're all proud of it.
In your heart of hearts, you thought she could win. Did you really think she could win by that far?
No, I didn't. I didn't think about it. Go and interview James.
Well done, mate. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Great stuff. I mean, we know how Chris is so emotional. His care for the horse. This is Winks. This is Winks-like. It really is. You don't get any better than this. And Prognosis is a high-quality horse, outstanding horse, and she absolutely baths him. And look at the ages. Well, look at the Century Club here. Ollie, Moore, Bowman, Cassidy, and now James joins them. And look at the ages. J-Mac at 32 gets to 100. Ollie and Huey in their early 40s, and George a little bit older, and then Jimmy at the ripe old age. It's just remarkable. Em, I don't know how much time we've got, but you've watched that from there. We'll get back to Katie and to Richo in a moment, but that's as good as it gets, Emma, isn't it?
Nothing better, Bruce. That was as soft as you like it. She's a superstar mare, and we've come to know that throughout her time in Australia. The mishap during the week didn't really dent her chances at all. And speaking to Kathy, who's close to the stable, we just had Charlie Duckworth here with us, who is Chris's right-hand man. Absolutely elated, a true team effort. And looking at that, I mean, I don't want to jump the gun, Kat, but I reckon she'll get the 2 miles in 10 days.
She is fit and she is electric, and she just streeted them. She's in another class, and I think that they're just going to have a seriously good reason to not run her in the Cup.
And Bruce, just on that man on our screen, I know this has been weighing on him the last couple of weeks, the 99 to 100, but he does it in the best fashion possible. A hat-trick of Cox plates at a track that means so much, in a race that means so much, for a stable that means oh so much.
Absolutely. So just the second man to win 3 consecutive Cox plates on 3 different horses. Huey, of course, on the one. Dan, we've just seen something very special, mate.
Ben Cox, that was absolutely breathtaking. Talk us through your last few moments.
Actually, the last few moments, at about the travelling, said we're flying. I didn't think we were flying as well as we ended up being, but what a thrill. It's great for Mr. Zhang and his family. It's no secret how much money Mr. Zhang's put into this business, and to win a race like this is testament to his sustained and serious investment in this business.
A Northern Hemisphere Group 1 winner. Did you think that she would come down here and do what she's done?
No, I mean, you don't. I mean, when you buy these horses, you hope. Not in your wildest dreams do you think you're going to win a Cox Plate, let alone 3 other Group 1s. And, it's a lot of people to thank. James Ferguson in Europe when we first bought her, and, going way back to when she was first in training. So, it's a wonderful story.
It's incredible stuff. I'm going to let you go and celebrate and enjoy it.
Good,
cheers,
man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So Vin Cox, of course, formerly Godolphin, then before that Magic Millions, and now running Yulong. And we've talked a lot about Yulong and their rise, and this is the pinnacle moment. James's ride was perfect. The pace was incredible. Pride of Jenny, when I say incredible, it built, and Prognosis was the one. Damien Lane was happy to be the bridge between Pride of Jenny and the rest of the field. And James McDonald was able to have the confidence at the 1,000 and then at the 800 to make a sustained run. And you could see at the point of the turn that it was his he's a champion. He's a champion sportsman, not just a champion jockey. I don't think we've seen anyone quite like him, and I don't say that lightly. And I'm old enough to have seen the best of the best, going right back to George Moore and Roy Higgins, but I don't think we've ever seen anyone quite like James McDonald. 100th Group 1 win in this Cox Plate for the ages. Richo, breathtaking, leaves you almost breathless, but at a time like this, there's just so much to say.
And I can't wait to have a chat to James. I'm alongside his beautiful wife, who's really reluctant to be involved in this, but she just wants to give her husband a kiss. And at the moment, James just made his way over to Mr. Zhang, of course, with Yulong and the incredible contribution they've made to Australian racing. So they 100% deserve every bit of success that comes their way. So he's just having a quick chat to Vin Cox as well. Via Sistina thrashes Prognosis with his gun 3-year-old broadsiding running third. It's an unbelievable trifecta, isn't it? And Mr. B did Mr. B things, and Courageous as always to run into fourth. So James will make it all official and then start to reflect on an unbelievable performance. She was breathtaking. She was Winx-like, which is the biggest compliment you possibly can give. And the wait for 100 is over, and a third Cox Plate for this champion jockey. Oh, he deserved that drink. Mac, congratulations, brother. Can you describe what you were thinking about 800 metres out when, by gee, you looked like you were trucking?
Oh, yeah. I was pretty happy to see Prognosis up there, to be fair. It was, and broadsiding. Two horses that I thought would maybe be back with me, jostling for the same positions, and the pace was nice, and I had such a smooth run the first half, and I thought I just wheel it out, keep it smooth, blend in, and she loved it, and she won like Winx. She blended and yeah, it's just a phenomenal performance.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? She won like Winx, so that's not a throwaway line. When you were lying on the turf on Tuesday morning and she was galloping away from you, surely you did not think this was possible?
No. I thought our hopes were doomed. I think there was a fantastic picture there when I popped myself up and looked at and watched her gallop away. And I think if looks could tell a story, we were stuffed.
Yeah. So Animo, Romantic Warrior, and now her, all very, very different. Do you appreciate this one a little more because of the 100?
Well, I think so. I think there was more pressure. Like, obviously the other two were well fancied, but they're very easy horses to ride. This one, she's not easy. Things needed to go our way, and probably the momentum of this 100's been quite heavy. Yeah. Especially each week everyone's been gunning for me, and I haven't been able to get the job done. And mate, to do it in a Cox Plate, I couldn't even imagine it. Like, it's pretty surreal, eh?
Yeah. Your great mate Emma Freedman, preparing for the 100 up in Sydney, rang all the other living guys that had got to the 100 and asked them for just a word, and they described your brilliance. But then she rang your mum and said one word. She said resilience. That's how she described you, because by gee, you've been through a lot, mate.
Well, yeah, I've been blessed, and a lot of it's been good as well. So without my mum, my dad, my beautiful family, Caitlin, there's massive supporters. And when the chips are down and when things are... This is a high tense sport. There's a lot of money at stake, and like you feel it at times. And there's some days where you just want to be left alone. And don't get me wrong, it happens quite a bit. Like the last few weeks have been pretty tough, and yeah, Caitlin's been unreal for support, and just saying it will happen, and Mum's obviously been there helping with the kids, and that all that takes so much work and effort and it's a huge team effort. I'm so lucky, and I got a beautiful family, and and I got a great career.
You join the greats and you sit very comfortably with them. You deserve that, mate. Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Champion.
A couple of quick things. They have smashed the track record, Winx's track record, and she's won by an equal record margin of 8 lengths. It used to be Sunline and Dulcify 7, and then Winx in her second was 8 lengths, and Via Sistina today has won by 8. Let's pay tribute to James McDonald and his 100th Group 1. It's been remarkable, the rise enjoyed by James McDonald and his charge towards a century of Group 1 wins. He joins a select club, exactly a handful of Australasian legends, Moore, Ollie, Huey, the Pumper, and now J-Mac.
Here's Scarlet Lady with a big run down.
His first Australian success at the highest level came in the 2011 Queensland Oaks on a very good filly from home, New Zealand's Scarlet Lady, for Graham Rogerson.
The Oaks is her. She's got it wrapped up. Scarlet Lady.
It was 3 years after his very first Group 1, when he was just 16.
I reckon it's a special moment for James McDonald. I reckon he's got it on special mission his first Group 1.
Those early days were promising. In March 2012, the 20-year-old won the New Zealand Derby,
She's too good. She's a beauty.
the Auckland Cup,
I think she's sensational. Done it. She is simply stunning.
and the stakes in a week of the most prestigious racing in his country.
It's another Group 1 for James McDonald, the champion of the carnival.
Often racing.
His entree to Australia later that year matched James with the first of 5 horses that have been at the heart of his rise to fame. J-Mac and It's a Done Deal.
And It's a Done Deal nailed it.
J-Mac and Nature Strip. 3 TJ Smiths.
Here's a TJ treble for the Sprint King, Nature Strip.
An Everest.
He's king of the mountain this time.
And Royal Ascot.
A ripper. Here's a king stand.
Very elegant in the Melbourne Cup. One of the great Melbourne Cups.
10 Group 1s, and now the greatest of them all, the Melbourne Cup.
Anamo's Day of Destiny at the Valley in the Cox Plate.
This time for the big A.
And most recently, Romantic Warrior, writing history with McDonald in Hong Kong and Japan.
What a ride, what a horse, and he wins it again.
Notably winning the Championship of Australasia in a desperate drive up the straight.
Romantic Warrior is going to get up by a nose.
Trainers, there have been a fair few. Godolphin's played a big part, firstly with John O'Shea and more recently with James Cummings. But it's his partnership with Chris Waller that is enduring. Their second Group 1 in the Caulfield Guineas of 2018 followed 2 years in the wilderness.
The autumn sun blazes in spring, bumps in 6 lengths.
The Waller partnership is not the most important. He and former jockey Katie are loving parents to 2 fillies now. James is only 32. Huey and Ollie were 41 when they celebrated their century. George was 43 and Jimmy 50. There's no questioning